about shining a light on female founders and women doing extraordinary things in business. And let me tell you, Marie Vlahos totally fits that bill. So welcome, Marie. Great to have you
Hey,
here.
Jules, good to be here. Thank you.
And I'm dying for you to tell people about what it is that you do. So let's start with what's the name of your business?
Right. Well, my company is called Her Home Loan. And I've also just actually started Her Investment Club. So we're branching out and really doing things to help women.
Fantastic. And of course, I absolutely love that. So what does it do and why did you set it up?
Her Home Loan, I'm a mortgage broker and an investment strategist.
Yep.
I was working with a lot of women in the past who really had no idea what to do, no plan in place for when they retired. So a lot of them had become single in their 40s, and basically were left with large mortgages, if they had any, and no idea how they're going to pay them off once they stopped working.
Yeah.
So basically my passion is to, get involved and help women to, win, basically.
Yes.
So I was helping them to put different strategies together to help them to basically invest and end up where they would have no mortgage and possibly an investment property, giving them passive income by the time they retired.
Oh my God, who doesn't love that? And I absolutely, and I know all these people that completely fangirl you, so you're brilliant at this. So tell us a little bit about it, as in why you set it up and what it is that you actually do with women in this space.
Okay, great. Well, basically, I have a fabulous network of women around me.
You do, the Inspired by Women crew.
That's right. And these women are experts in their own field. So, I trust them and I know what they've done and, their results.
And sorry, you're talking about your collaboration group
Correct.
there, right? Do you want to just tell people what sort of services they offer as well?
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, we have women like, Lena DeMarco. She's an SMSF specialist and she helps women to set up super funds. She's also an accountant and runs a fabulous business.
Yeah.
We have Susie Antic we work with a lot. She's fabulous at finding the right properties in the right areas with high growth and really high income properties.
Yeah.
She's amazing. We have property advocates who also buyers agents that we work with as well. So we have an array of properties, not just one particular type.
So it's kind of a full service you can offer.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't just focus on one thing. We have Miriam. She's an amazing solicitor, works in Sydney for a company that backs us 100% and has helped us set up all of these legal agreements and things for our joint venture structures, which I'll talk about in a minute.
Yep.
And I know someone's missing.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to get an idea.
Oh, yeah. And we have a credit specialist as well who's amazing at what she does. And she helps all our women who may have issues on their credit scores to get them resolved.
So that's through Her Home Loan, where you've been specifically focusing on helping women get a roof over their head, but also to invest in property. And then tell me a little bit about her investments.
Okay, now Her Investment Club, it's actually a club we're starting so that we're going to start a register for women who may have might have equity or a bit of a deposit, low income, other women who may have high income, no deposits. We're actually going to put them all together on a register and, like an introductory service, I guess. So we're going to have, information nights. We're going to have investment opportunities to say, hey, who likes the idea of this? Who might like to invest? And people there to explain how it all works and how we can actually get involved with them. We also have developers who are offering, discounts on properties to people like us just to help.
But the idea is that a few women band together as a group to invest in a property. Is that kind of how it works?
You can either have two. We have joint venture agreements for them where they can actually get a loan split by a particular bank. And then if one defaults or is late on their repayment, it does not affect the other person.
Amazing.
It is.
I mean, I think that's what we've all been crying out for. I think that's such a brilliant idea.
Well, it's all about safety, you know what I mean, for women. And so someone else doesn't mess up your credit, basically, as well. So that's something we've really ticked off.
And why have you suddenly gone into this space? What is it?
Well, we're finding that a lot of women wanted to invest or do something or just buy a property, but they couldn't do it on their own. Like it's impossible on, one income, or it's too hard to save a deposit and pay rent, that type of thing. So we thought, well, hell, we need to just put people together.
So they buy the property and live in it. Is that the deal, or do other women invest in it and anyone can live in it? How does it work?
Well, it's up to them really, because you can buy it as an investment, and then one particular person can rent it as if you normally would rent it out to a tenant. That's all part of the structure. Yeah, it's all part of the agreements that you set up legally, so you're bound by them.
All right. So, what sort of services are you able to offer women if they're listening and they're going, oh, well, I've got 20 grand in the bank and no house over my head, or I'd like to invest. What sort of things can you help them with? And then I'm going to get you to tell me some stories about working with women.
Well, what we do, we basically get them to contact us, reach out, let us know, what you have, what you'd like to do. We would also get a credit report done for you. If you have any issues, we have to have a clear credit report for people going into these type of structures.
And can you help women if they haven't got a clear credit report? Okay.
Yes, Kerry Sainsbury has her own business that runs this type of thing.
Okay.
So we'll sort of introduce you to her and she can take care of that for you.
Yep.
And then, once everything's all clear, then we can put you onto the registrar, basically.
Yeah.
And, help you get involved with other women and different opportunities that come up.
And do you have to know those women? Like, do you bring them together so they become friends, or it doesn't really matter?
Not at all. You can actually invest with strangers and feel safe that you'll be well protected by all the contracts and legal things that we have in place, just to make sure.
And what sort of money do they need to have in order to be able to be part of this registry?
Okay, well, to register zero, we're not about making money from women.
No, sorry, I meant to invest. What is there a minimum amount?
Okay. Well, if you might have 20, 30,000 perhaps. Depends how many women want to get involved. If you want to buy one property, you may have 5 women who may only need, $10,000, $15,000.
Okay.
And then we put them into a trust, and then we can get a loan through the bank for the balance. Things like that. There's so many different opportunities.
It is. It's really amazing. So can you give me some stories, some examples?
Just on a current affair last night, there was this amazing story, which I actually was very upset about, because there were women who were over 60s, who were actually still working 6 days a week. One was a nurse, and she was struggling so much that, she was afraid that if she didn't get paid, next week, she wouldn't be able to live where she was, which was just in a rental accommodation. Pretty scary. So we have actually working with a developer who now puts together these 5-bedroom amazing co-share houses.
Wow.
It is fabulous.
And what do the houses look like? I mean, have you got your own bedroom and bathroom?
You have your own bedroom, your own bathroom, ensuite, your own little lounge room, and a kitchenette. Yes, so these are quite different to what's been out there at the moment.
Yeah, and purpose-built.
And purpose-built, and they have their own little private patios, courtyards. So you can have your family over and stuff like this. So we're thinking we want to get investors together to start investing in these. You can have probably Australia-wide, really. They've got some great ones currently going up in Brisbane or that area. Yeah. Just to help women, just say, if a few group of us group together, buy one property that's going to house 5 women who are really in need. And it's actually a really good investment return as well.
So you've got kind of 2 levels you're working at. One is finding the women who will invest and build the house.
Yes.
And then offering it to women who, and it is the rent, what sort of rent are they looking at? I know this
can be less than $400 a week.
Yeah, right.
To live in your own unit, basically, within one home with 5 other.
And if you wanted to, you could buy into it and pay it off over time.
Absolutely.
And then you've got something you can sell to another woman later.
Yes, well, it's under one title. Yeah. But you can, you're buying shares basically in it.
Okay.
And then you can either on sell or exit if you think, I need to get out of this now and put my money somewhere else.
Yeah, right.
Or you can, you could have 2 women who actually want to buy them, because they're not too much more than, say 1.2 mil, which a lot of people are spending that on one house these days as an investment.
But does it mean you need to live in the outer suburbs because it's a new build, or can you?
No. A couple of these ones are actually being built in Brisbane near the beaches and things, so in fabulous locations.
And I know, having spoken to Susie Antic, that she kind of specialises in that new build area as well. And there's all these things she was telling me about, all these great tax benefits and
absolutely,
And then the other thing I was going to say is, what if you've only got equity in your house but you'd like to invest? Can you still help them?
Yes, well, if you have equity in your house and you're working, you can actually still draw on that equity.
Yeah.
So if you want to take 100,000 out of your house, invest it into a property like this where you're getting rental return, we can help you do that.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so can you tell me maybe a couple of stories of women that you've worked with, either through her home loan, because it sounds like the new one's very
new.
So yeah, tell me what it's been like working with women and what the difference you've been making.
I absolutely love working with women because I find they want to learn and they're actually so keen and eager to do, your ideas and suggestions.
Yeah.
And grateful as well. And I've worked with, I love working with self-employed women because there are a couple of that I've helped quite a lot where they couldn't get finance anywhere else.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was talking about this with someone the other day that, as a self-employed person, you're trying to minimize your tax. So you're spreading money everywhere. So it looks like you're not earning very much. And then you've got to go and apply for a home loan and you're like, they're not going to give you very much on the back of that. So
that's exactly what was happening. So we're able to work with women and a couple of different banks that work with us as well. A lot of people don't know about this, but you can just use your notice of assessments. If you have debts in your company, the banks don't want to look at that, so doesn't affect your servicing capacity. There's just so many different options available.
And can you buy it? What could you buy it under your business name?
You can buy anything under your business name, but in some ways you might be best to buy under your own personal name because you don't want to be showing your business debts, because the bank say, okay, we'll use your income and we don't want to see that side. So this is what they do as part of their strategies as well.
Amazing. So tell me a story.
Okay, one story. One of our lovely clients, one of our Melbourne clients actually, was introduced to me, and she couldn't get finance anywhere. She had land and she wanted to build a home, but she just couldn't do it for her and her children.
Yeah.
So it's just the way I work with the banks, and we went. We basically tried a few different scenarios, and we finally sort of worked it in with one of the banks, where we were able to use her full income and not with all the deductions and things, because as we know, we all try to save on tax.
Yes.
So this was a very successful one, and she actually called me an angel, which is nice.
Well, you would have been an absolute angel.
Well, I think
she was able to build the house
in her eyes, and she's built a house, and she's had her children that moved in, so she's super happy.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
What about? Can you give me another couple of stories? What kind of women are they? Give us an idea of.
A lot of these are just single mums, basically.
Yeah, right.
Other ones who we're able to use low doc loans, basically, and no doc loans, where an accountant is happy to sign off saying yes, she can afford to repay this mortgage.
Right.
So it's all safe. We know we won't put you somewhere where you can't afford to pay. And then
go on, keep going.
And that basically allows you to get a mortgage basically to buy a home, knowing that your accountant has agreed that yes, you can repay this, and not taking into account all the different tax deductions that they've put in to lower your income.
Right.
So that's amazing, this one.
Right. And who was it that you did that one for? Not without naming names.
No, just another great client.
The kind of woman it would have been.
Oh, okay. That was a self-employed woman who basically was struggling again and thinking she could never buy a house because she couldn't get the finance, because no other lender would actually help her. They look at her financials and say, oh no, there's no way you can buy a house for 52,000 or something, whereas really she was earning probably 150,000.
Yeah, right. And so the other thing that really interests me, and I know a lot of women that I've been talking to who are over 60 are kind of going, well, I'm not going to be able to get a mortgage for 27 years, so they're not going to be interested in me. And I know there's another woman I was speaking to who's in finance talked about helping someone in their 70s.
Yep.
So how does that work if you're older and you might not see out the runway of 27 years?
A lot of women think they can't get a loan after the age of 50, 60, whatever. But you actually can, especially if it's an investment property.
Yeah.
And the banks are aware that you have a good exit clause to say, I'm either going to downsize, then I can repay the balance of the mortgage out by the time I retire, or if I can also, if it's an investment, then you've got somewhere else that you may be living that you can stay in. It won't be affected if you actually sold it and repaid it.
Right.
We're happy with that.
What if you want to live in it and you're over 60?
Well, you can live in it, because a lot of people buy investment properties, then they find they have to actually move into them.
Right.
As long as you've still got the investment loan that you started with, it happens all the time. Women are moving into their
So the
investment
banks
properties.
or whoever you're working with will give someone, is it like a 27-year loan, but you pay it off early? Or is it
Yes.
like a 10-year loan and you've got to pay twice as much?
No, we do have banks that will give you a 30-year term on a
Yeah.
loan, even when you're 60. I've already got them for some of my
Which is
clients.
great, which makes so much sense to me because,
Absolutely.
you know, I mean, you'll still get that equity. You'll still be able to sell it at some stage and pay the bank back.
That's right. There's just some banks though. Some are very old school and they don't
Yeah.
agree with that. So they'll try and bring it down to a 10-year term where the repayments are like ridiculous and it's unaffordable. But we know which banks to work with for different scenarios.
Okay. Well, it's good to hear that the banks are also coming to the party and realize that, you know, because there's a lot of money out there that they could be tapping into if they weren't so stringent. And I know things are a bit wobbly with the economy at the moment, but it's not going to be like that forever. And the banks surely know that. So
that's right.
That's amazing.
And the thing with the properties too, I mean, properties are just booming. You know, they're going.
Yeah, and they can see the equity growth, I guess.
That's right. This is why I wanted to help women to actually get into the property market so they can take advantage of this equity growth and, you know, the money that's there to be made. Even if you do it for a 5-year period, then sell, get out and put that into your own home. You know, it's ways of, or into your super fund.
Yeah,
you know, you can buy through super. A lot of women are just sitting on super funds that have maybe 250,000 in. We only need to use, say, 120,000 as your deposit on a property, and the rental income and your contributions from your employer, if you're self-employed or not, will actually pay for the property. So by the time you retire, you have a fully paid off house sitting there that you can either sell or get the rental returns every single month.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Retire. Yeah.
No wonder you love doing it.
I do, very passionate.
And so is there anything else that you'd like to share with people in terms of what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it?
Me and my team basically, and we're actually also looking for other women around the different areas. Actually, Melbourne, I've got a few fabulous people down there.
Okay.
You know, some of the girls I work with. Can't think of right this second. There's Phoebe, and then there's also Amanda.
Yeah.
They're fabulous women I love working with. We're going to be coming to Melbourne to put on we call them educational seminars.
Yeah.
And they're always basically free. We don't charge women to come, but we need women to learn and to get the knowledge.
Yeah, right.
Basically. So, if someone doesn't tell them, they don't know.
So watch this space for you should follow Marie if you want to know about her amazing information events. And you just did one in Sydney, didn't you? Recently?
We did one in Sydney at the Women's Club, which was a fabulous venue. We had over 100 women turn up, basically, and it was full. So they just all got so much out of it, and we had a lot of praise for that because, we had women coming, have a sandwich, have a glass of wine, and learn as much as you can. So
brilliant.
Makes a difference. The more you know, the better you can sort of get an outcome.
Yeah, cool. So, Marie, if someone does want to work with you, what's the best way of them being able to find you or get hold of you or find out more?
Okay, find out more because we're all very open just to talking to people.
Yeah.
Basically at www.herhomeloan.com.au.
Right, great.
That's the place. We have a little spot on there where you can put in your name and what you're interested in knowing about.
And then you guys get in touch and
and then we'll give them a call.
And they can put themselves on the list for these events as well, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. Co-investing or anything. Like we're starting a big database, and we'll have a Facebook group as well, just for her investment club, because we need it to be a club, so it can be private. And then we can on the Facebook page we can talk about successes, who wants to invest in this and that, and no one else sees what's on there.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh,
well, I absolutely love it. And thank you so much for sharing with me what it is that you're doing. I just think it's so important that we have people that are out there that women can rely on to go and, see how they can get a roof over their head, or how they can invest that money that's probably just, as you say, sitting in their super.
Exactly.
That they can do stuff with. So
amazing. We're here to help everyone. So come and ask. You never know.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thanks so much, Marie. If you've enjoyed this, then you will be able to watch it on the YouTube channel as well. Also, check out she'sthebossgroup.com if you want to see our live events and online events. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, which I love, or join the She's the Boss Facebook group. I also coach women about how to become a woman of influence, and I'm always up for talking to anyone about that. And last but not least, go and check out womenspeakers.com.au if you want to speak more, because I've started a directory there where people will be able to go and search for women speakers. And Marie's on there as well, or will be on there. So that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Marie.
Thank you, Jules.